There you go.
Yeah.
All right, windbreaker. That's going to make a whole noise on the mic. Let's see how that works.
Not if I'm moving.
Winter outside, like you in the fall already. Like,
Okay, how many things are we? How many things are?
you trying to encourage the fall? Like, what's up here, man?
Yeah, what's up?
It's comfortable.
Is it?
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
comfortable.
So I'm already going to say that your beard is going to make all kinds of noise with that windbreaker.
Nothing. Nothing. Welcome, everybody, to another exciting episode of On the Couch, where we dive into the world of mortgages. In this episode, we're going to teach you the 5 things that you need to know about mortgage math. Guys, in this...
Ah.
I didn't like it anyways.
What, the 5 things we're going to teach you about mortgage math?
No, you were just like,
Because he's like, don't...
All I said was don't yell on the mic.
Yeah, I
That's all
know.
I
He's like,
said.
he said don't yell, so...
Okay, let him yell. Let him yell. Okay, ready? Here we go.
It's just, how about leave Johnny alone, and then we'll just do what we do. Ready?
3, 2, windbreaker.
Welcome, everybody, to another exciting episode of On That Couch, where we dive into entrepreneurship, being a mortgage broker, and what it takes every day to succeed in this business. In this episode, we're going to talk about the 5 mortgage maths that you need to know when talking to your clients or referral sources. So stay tuned, click the like button, subscribe, and comment down below. I'm Johnny Soup, and I'm here with...
Danny Cardozo.
Why? Why did you point in that direction,
Why?
Danny?
Because he did one of these.
Yeah. So I could do like this, like all these guys do, like this,
So
like this.
the one thing that we're going to talk about is what scares everyone, and that's mortgage math. That's math in general.
Math is scary, and my daughter's like doing really good in math right now. I guess she's in grade 3, so she's always been doing good, right? So yesterday at night, she took out, I guess, like not homework, but like those math books that you can do just to help your math, and it's just like, wow, most people are scared from math. My daughter whipped it out. There's no reason for her to whip it out. There's no, like, sometimes we tell her, listen, let's go through this so that we can polish your math up a little bit. And she did it on her own. She grabbed it. She goes, I'm going to do all this additions and subtractions and, new ways of what she's been learning in school, I guess. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. And then I hear you yesterday on the phone with a client on a discovery call, and you're asking them about their income. And then right away, you used quick math and figured out the multiplication into what their income is to figure out pretty much how much they could get qualified for.
Yeah, if it was going to make sense and how would we move forward, what strategy we would use. Yeah.
So let's start with that one. And hearing you on the phone I'm like, this is a great episode.
Yeah.
Let's talk math.
Mortgage math.
Because you did that without going onto an application.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And what is that math? So we'll start with the first one.
Yeah.
So we're touching on five different.
So the first one is talking about your income to qualification math. Like, what do you qualify for? So right now, the math is working out to about 4x your income. So when you take your income and your spouse's income, to be conservative, this is just a simple math calculation, not talking about any liabilities, just based on the income versus how much mortgage money you'll qualify, not the purchase price.
Yeah.
Mortgage money. What will the bank give you? It's about 4 times that money. So if you make $100,000 and your spouse makes $100,000, that's $200,000 in household income or application income. You take that and you times it by 4. So that 2 turns into 8, right? So 2, 4, 6, 8. You can qualify for an $800,000 mortgage. And then we start talking about, there's other math we got to talk about, like equity moving forward and so on and so forth.
Yeah, but I like, this episode is quick math, and
that you should be able to do that quickly with your clients on the phone. 2 things are going to happen. One, it shows professionalism that you've done this many times. You've built through multiple applications, and you understand that ratios, right? Your gross debt servicing and your total debt servicing. By the time you take out property tax and heat and the things that make you qualify, the income it needs to be at 4. It used to be 4.5 at one point. Now it's come down a bit because rates are higher.
I feel like you have someone right now that, you know, has has no liabilities. You're probably still at that 4.5.
You could,
You
yeah,
could
but
probably still grab there.
you could, but again, there's other factors, right? The other numbers like your credit scores might
Yeah,
determine that.
100%. So I like the 4x,
Yeah,
your income.
4x your income will give you because a lot of people ask, right? Like, what do I qualify for? So you got to be able to, like, instead of giving them a long-winded around the table answer, like, well, you know, like, even though we say in order for us to provide accurate information and to avoid any misunderstandings, I got to look at your documents
Which is what I loved, because you followed up with that on the call
right after.
right after
Yeah.
you mentioned, you know what, this is what it looks like you're going to qualify for, but
In order for me to give you accurate information to avoid any misunderstandings, I got to look at your documentation.
100%.
Just because you say you make 100K, you might make 110. Because if I take a 2-year average, or I might be able to gross up some of that income, or really and truly you make 97. You know, so those small margins of thousands of dollars can make the difference between 44 total debt service and a 42 total debt service, or 43.7. Like, those things matter when you're hovering a fine line, when you're trying to push the envelope to the max. Not what we recommend, but a lot of people want to push that max number. Yeah.
So yeah, I love that 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 math, that quick math that you can do right on, whether you're smart enough to 4x it.
But every
in your
agent should know
brain.
that those
but
are,
yeah, you should know that that's a good number to know,
and
to
it
keep
should,
that in your toolbox.
yeah.
You know,
Shows confidence, right, to the client. It shows that you know what you're doing. It's quick problem solving, right? And it allows the client to go back and be like, okay, this is, you know, based on our income, this is what we qualify for, just income based. So yeah, that would be that number one. So that's number one, is calculating your income times 4 gives you a bottom line mortgage amount request to the lender.
What about trying to calculate if you can refi someone's mortgage quick based on, rates dropping? So that math could be done pretty quickly, or on a piece of paper, if you ask me, really quickly, right in front of a client without an application.
What's your
Or
process?
or at least create that that talking conversation with the client.
Yeah. So now step number 2, right? So you've gone through step number 1. It's, okay, where do you qualify for? Because even on a refi, it's the same math. You might be able to push envelopes different depending on lenders. You might be able to go to 50 GDS, or to make the times, your times table by 5. But I'm not going to get into that, but simple math. What's your process in that next step? So now you're talking to the client.
Let's say, okay, so now I'm talking to the client. We are figuring out their current mortgage that they have on their property. You know what? They tell me that they're sitting at a 6%.
Yep.
And current market right now is, let's say, 4.5. So for me, that's quick math. 1.5%, right?
In reduction.
In reduction, times by the mortgage amount, right?
Yep.
That's going to give us the
What's
total
2%? 6. It's all 6 to 4.5. Yeah. Sorry,
4.5,
1.5. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's going to give us the total reduction there.
Simple interest math.
Simple interest.
Yeah.
And how much they can pretty much save throughout the 1 year. Then times it by how much left in their in their term.
Yep.
So that'll be how much they're going to save throughout the entire term on that. And then obviously you got to figure out the penalty based on IRD or whatever the case is, but at least that creates that conversation.
So if I've got a $600,000 mortgage, yep, I got 3 years remaining in my 5-year term, I signed in at 6%, and my penalty to break that $500,000 mortgage is $9,000. So now you're going to save me 1.5%. If I break this mortgage and go into a 4.5%, I got to be able to give that client quick math. What's the ROI of breaking the mortgage? We're going to add the penalty to the premium now. So now your mortgage is going to go from 500 to 510, for instance, or 512. But over the course of the next 3 to 5 years, we're going to save you X amount of dollars. So 1.5 on 5 is $6,000.
I should have probably wrote that down right in front of me, but
we're both looking at our calculators right now. But this is what you need it. So 500.
But that's real time right there. Sometimes you need a little.
It's $7,500.
Okay.
So times that by 3, I'm already at $22,000 in savings in 3 years.
Right. So
in 18 months, you've made your money back.
So doing that theory, right? Do you even need to know the penalty to really know that this person's probably going to save some money there?
No.
No, right? Because they're going to save. They're in the 20s already. I don't think I've ever seen a penalty that's gone past the 20s. I mean, unless the mortgage is massive, but
Yeah.
like I've yet to see one.
No, 12,000, 15,000. You're
Like
there.
there. So I know there's savings there. There's a good quick talking opportunity there that I'm going to say.
And in that same term, in the next, you still got 3 years with this current lender. But if I break you now, bring you down to the 4.5 from the 6 that you're at, and in 3 years you're going to have $22,000 in savings less the penalty, you're still ahead $12,000.
Yeah.
That's the simple math.
That's the simple math
that you
That's
need to
quick
know.
math.
Yeah.
And then obviously, like me personally, I love budgets. So then obviously once we build out the application, we're going to put it all on the budget. But I'm just trying to figure out some quick math stuff.
Yeah.
in
So
this
that's
scenario.
number 2.
That's number
So
2.
understanding how to refi someone's mortgage when rates are lower and they're in a higher bracket when you run a magnet campaign. So that's number 2. That's great math. So now you've qualified them on what they can qualify for, so where you're going with the product. And number 2 is you've qualified them for how much savings they're going to get. So those are 2 key factors. What's number 3?
Let's talk about 3 ways of prospecting and the numbers behind those. And I'm going to say Johnny's going to really like this one. So you obviously got I can spend money, and let's say you spend $90 a day. I'm just going to use 90 because it just works, right? On ads. So that's one way of prospecting.
Oh, yes.
Right.
The cost of acquisitions you're talking
Yeah.
about. Okay.
Then you can do, let's say 90 minutes to an hour and a half of creating conversations.
Outbound calls.
Right.
Yeah.
So these are numbers that you should be looking at as a mortgage broker that you should be doing, or you could be doing 90 minutes of just creating content on social. So I think those 3 are the biggest methods of
Generating business.
So
Yeah.
you're either going to put,
90
30, 50, 60, 70, 80, 80, $90 into prospecting. And that's on Facebook ads.
So
probably
ad spend per day, $90.
$90
if you want a good ROI.
You want a good return on your investment, $90. That's gonna keep you very busy. The next way is who the hell wants to spend money? I mean, there are people that make a living out of that, but
Yep. The other way is spending 90 minutes.
on conversations.
But hold on a second. Okay. I got to ask the question.
Sure.
So when I spend $90 to get leads coming in, how much time am I spending on the phone?
Yeah. So I like this because we've done ads.
Yeah,
we've tried it, and once in a while we jump into it for certain reasons.
We still do.
Yeah, and we still do for certain reasons, right?
Yep.
And you end up spending a lot of time on the phone trying to get the commitment, right? And I mean the commitment the commitment could be trying to get them to fill out an application, depending what you're spending the ads
The
on.
commitment to send
In mortgages, let's keep it in mortgages, I guess. The commitment here is to get them to fill out an application.
Yeah.
Right? So you spend a lot of time sifting through all the leads that end up coming in, spending all the time doing all these discovery calls, when in reality, you just could go out there and do an hour and a half of conversations per day, and you will get the exact same result without
the ad spend. I don't want to say I would challenge this because there's many brokers out there that do it. They got their ads, they've got them dialed in, they have their lookalike audiences happening.
We're going to talk about ads in another segment here right now of our broker math.
Okay. But it's hard because you're absolutely right. Like you're going to have, like I said it on the other episode, 84, you have to have 84 conversations to turn into 25 appointments to get 7 closed deals. We know the math. But where are the 84 coming from? The 84 come from the outbound 10 that you make every day. That's where the 84 conversations come from. In essence, if you're going to go spend $90 a day, even if you spend $50 a day, that's $3,000 a month. That's not a little bit of money.
No.
Right? Like you're talking, that's big bucks. So the cost of acquisition and then to close, like, I don't know, I have a hard time with it. So that's that math. You need to know your numbers. You got to know your metrics. What business math are you doing for your lead captures? And
good. And then Danny, you said you wanted to lead into?
Well, Johnny just brought out the reverse in reversing your numbers.
Yeah.
Right. And we talk about this a lot, tracking your metrics, reverse your numbers. Have you figured out as a broker what you want to make per year?
Me?
Yeah.
Of course I have.
Okay. How did you get to that number?
I reverse engineered it.
Okay. So let's go through those numbers.
You want it?
So, well, I don't mean yours, but
Oh,
like
Yeah.
an agent walks into our office, right? We sign them up and we sit them down. We do
Yeah.
our first one-on-one with not
What's the
client,
end
with
goal
the
in
agent,
mind?
okay? What is your end goal? What do you want to make?
Mhm.
You know, what is this year? What is next year? What is in 5 years from now? What is in 10 years from now? And let's reverse and see how we're going to get there with you, right? So what do those numbers look like?
Wow.
Someone that wants to make, I like the number 200,000. So, because I feel like,
So two things have to happen. Number one is we have to design and understand who your avatar is. Because somebody who's working in the Northern Ontario, their average per copy or their average per file is going to be $250,000 per mortgage.
perfect. And I'm going to stop you there. If you just want to increase your income,
Change your location.
change your location.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So now if I got somebody who's in Toronto, their average per copy is $680,000 because of the average. And you just have to understand market statistics. So now you've got that number out there. So when we decide on what area you're going to start farming and how you're going to start attacking and what referral partners or what area you want to work with, then we take the number. We know how many average per bips, right? So we know what our commission is. We know what split you're at. And then we just look at the average commission per file. So once we put that number in, how does that number equal the amount? So you just take the total income, divide it by that commission. You know how many files you need to complete. Then you take those files and you divide it by the months. And then you go into that and you're like, okay, well, now I need to complete 5 deals a month. Well, if your lead to application ratio is warm and you're closing every 7 people, out of 10 people, you're getting 7 people to give you an application. That means 70% or application ratios are 70%. On the cold front, if a cold lead is coming in and it's a 50%, then we use those numbers. And then application to closed ratio. So now I've got a commitment. So how many? I got 5 commitments and I closed 3 deals. Well, you know that's 75% or whatever that math is, 68 point something percent. Okay. You have to know those metrics. So once you put that in, then you got to take those numbers and you got to put into your leads by source. What source are those coming from? So now you're going to get into what Danny just said. Are you paying? So you have organic and you have paid. Those are 2. The organic way is coming in from different sources. You've got personal network, data mining, referral partners, repeat clients, realtor referrals. You've got Google page. Your leads by source. Those are leads by source. Those are meaning where the conversations are coming from. And then you have the applications by source. And then you have closed deals by source. I don't want to go too far into this because
This could be a very long episode just on tracking, but I'm just going to say this. Message us. Let us know. We have this whole tracking spreadsheet that you can, what Johnny just talked about.
You can plug and
And
play.
we'll send it to you guys.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah, if you comment down below and you want my tracking sheet, I'll send it to you. I'll even do a quick 15-minute one-on-one. I'll send you a video on how to import your numbers. Don't mess with the formulas. They are national averages across the board. And then as you track your numbers, you'll see what your actual metrics are trading at. So then like for instance, my application to ratio is 64%, actually sometimes 68. I know that because I track my shit. On the average, it's 30.
Okay, so let's talk about expenses. Okay. So expenses and how much of your commission should you be putting towards your expenses? And I think this is very important numbers that you should be applying, because you don't want to blow all your commissions.
No.
You want to invest in your business so that you could grow, right?
Yeah. So just like any other business, you're an entrepreneur. So you have to understand how to break down your business plan. So what's going to administration? What's going to marketing? What's going to taxes? And then what is going to you? So right off the top, you got to pay yourself first and foremost. You have to do that first, but you got to leave 30% for business operations.
I'm okay. You're going with 30. I was going with, about 20% of your gross commissions should be going to
Back into the business
business somehow. And
then from that 20%, you're going to break it into different segments.
Yeah,
What's marketing? What's
exactly.
administration?
So we have tools and software. You should be doing about 2 to 4%.
Yeah.
and tools and software. That's your CRM and email automation. Now, a lot of us are part of, if you're part of a national,
DLC.
like we are with DLC,
Yep.
then that 150 might be applied to this where that's at. We have, how about advertisement and fundraising? We got professional development. We got about 2 to about 6% in developing yourself. Gifting,
Yep.
right? Are you giving a gifts, or is there moments a while, or are you spending that money on possible referral partners?
So that's the thing. See, a lot
Right.
of agents, they're very reactive. So when they get their commissions, they're not doing any of this. They're not putting anything to marketing, to client experience, to their CRM, to future prospecting, to the referral source, to co-branding, none of that stuff. So you should put that aside and definitely budget accordingly. That's part of
And
it.
tech and subscriptions,
Yeah.
right? Like me, I use Loom. I use Google Workspace. Like
Canva,
that. I
there's all
use
kinds.
Canva. Like
Yeah.
these are subscriptions that I'm paying monthly that I, set aside based on the ads that I'm. And where would we spend that at first? Like if you're a new broker, you're gonna probably want to spend more on advertisement and fundraising to start, where after that number becomes smaller, just because you got
Or
more
even
of
on
a database.
well, Mark, even co-branding with your referral partner, right? Like
Yep.
you can spend money on the co-branding. So put 5% aside just for marketing. Out of 5,000, that's it's $300 or so.
So,
And then
let's
the last
go-
one.
the last one there was, just tech and subscriptions, I guess.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that kind of ties into the last one.
The last section here, though, we're talking about broker math. Okay, so now let's talk about, I guess, paid ads, right? And what is good about paid ads? Well, first of all, we talked about using about $90 per day in paid. If you're doing Google ads, we should be somewhere around the $150 to $200 per day. That should bring you down to about anywhere between $500 to $2,000 per file that you close. Great. What is great about ads? Yes, you're getting leads, right? What else do you get out of the leads? If you're good with it, you're going to build a good database, right? It's not a lot of people, like I see a lot of people jump into ads, 3 months, jump out.
But all they have is a CSV file. They don't have a CRM. They're not farming it.
They're not farming it.
No.
Guys, you guys will be blown away that yes, not only did you spend that money today, and yes, it's working out to $500 or $2,000 per file, but you can bring those numbers down by just farming those numbers, just farming your data, like putting this into a database.
It might not be today,
Yeah.
but it might be 6 months, 7 months down the road. That's why we run the dead lead resurrection campaign, because everybody's got dead leads hanging around. So
The one thing I'm going to say about ads is you're usually dealing with people that are in trouble. You're not going to go find that perfect client.
no, I think online leads are the tough files. Loan to values are stretched. Things are difficult. Like appraisal is the first thing that you want to do before you look at anything. Like before I even look at income, if I get an online lead, I'm looking at the value of the property and how much is owed, because they're usually stuck. They're credit seeking, right? That's where we're at with that.
Now, the last thing I want to talk about in broker math here is touches per year. How often should you touch one of your clients? And I'm going to start with through emails. Guys, you guys got to be hitting them up at least 15 to 20 times per year. Socially, 5 to 10 times. You should be calling them 2 to 3 times a year.
Because I could tell you right now, I got clients right now. It's football season, and I know who their teams are, and I'm hearing it from them right now because we suck. But I'm hitting up people that are Eagles fans, that are Packers fans. Like, obviously, if they're a Leafs fan or a Bruins fan, like I do it through sports.
Yeah,
I do all, or cars or whatever it is. I hit them up through our common.
So ground. These are, and at least like 4 SMSs, I guess, texts or that. And what you're saying is you're giving value in a way.
Yeah.
Like your touch point is sort of a value to them, right?
Well, I'm showing them I know them.
Yeah, right. You're showing them you know.
But they're
them.
also a lot of my clients become my friends, right? Like I get real close with my clients. Like I have conversations about anything and everything. Like, so it's very, so
So
that's also part of,
yeah,
like,
you're
that's why my clients like me, I guess.
you're sending them all these emails. They're not always asking
No,
on these emails. I'm not saying every email should be an ask, but I'm saying you're touching them, you're showing some value.
but I'm just being human, just humanizing everything. Like, just humanize what you're doing. It doesn't need to always be about an ask. It's, it's the jab, jab, jab. And then when it's time to ask for the referral, they're more keen to do it because it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, all right. Like if you just talk to them once a year and it's like, hey, can you send me a referral, or do you know anybody you can introduce me to? It's not likely. But if I call Paul, or I call Katrina, or I call, Nadia, it's like or Nicole Prod, I can ask these people and say, hey, introduce me to somebody at work.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like, I don't know. Find out. Like, find me somebody. Talk to somebody at lunch today.
Yeah, no
find, like, and they'll do it.
Yeah.
Because they're my friend. So those are important too. So that's the other and the last.
That is the last. Be relentless, guys, when it comes down to this stuff.
Yeah. Touch points, everything. You got to know your numbers. That's the whole business. We got a bottle of tequila we're going to talk about. Yes, we do.
We do. We have a
Soriano?
bottle of
What is that called?
Sonorio. Sonorio is positioned as a traditional Oaxacan Mezcal brand.
That's it.
Okay. It should be additive free, no added flavors, sweeteners, or coloring, obviously, because it's Mezcal and it fits in those Mezcal rules. Okay, so this bottle, Sonorio Mezcal Joven. Joven.
Sounds
How
French.
do you say Juan?
Juan?
Woven.
Woven?
Woven
Comes
what?
straight from Oaxaca.
Wow.
Because it's certified mezcal under Mexican law, it's made only with agave and water. No additives, no artificial sweeteners, just the pure smoke and soul of roasted agave. What you taste is exactly what came out of the still. So there you go.
Alrighty, Danny.
I love the smell of mezcal.
Cheers, boys.
Yeah.
Drink up.
I do. I really
This
enjoy
is
it.
verde.
All right. So I can already go in the. Danny, you're going to start. Right away, Danny doesn't like it. So let's start off with the flavor as well. Like, we all know what you're going to give it, Danny. It's the smokiness.
It does have that. Obviously, it's mezcal. You got the smoky. You do smell the roast in it.
Come on, you know you don't
I
like
mean, I'm not a fan, so I'm just 3.5, 7.5.
it. 3.5. 3.5, you might as well throw it away.
7.5 for this one, sure.
All right, 7.5. Now, the look. It looks too elegant to be tequila.
To me, it looks exactly what a tequila bottle should be. It's in that shape.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, they all.
You don't think that's too elegant? Look at the top, man. All the craftsmanship of the bottle. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
I mean, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have that.
So what are you
you
giving
know.
it out of 10?
I'll give it a 7.5, 8.
Okay, price 68.
$68, Mezcal Blanco. I'm not a fan of it, so $68, 7.5.
So 7 overall. 7.5 overall.
Sure.
Johnny, let's
Yeah.
start off with that flavor. You like the smokiness.
I like mezcal. It's not. They all taste the same. I haven't really, because the smoky flavor really it takes over a lot of what it tastes like.
out of 10.
Yeah,
I'm trying
mezcal's
to compare
gonna.
this one to the last one, and they're very similar.
Aren't they? I tried it too. It's almost
they're-
identical,
But
really.
it's almost most mezcals are like that.
Yeah.
Except for Casa Azul, right? Casa Azul is like extreme smoky. No, which one is the one George
That's
Clooney?
not-
Casamigos.
Casamigos.
Yeah.
That's like
No, it's-
extreme ash in a barbecue.
No, it tastes. I don't know. Maybe.
So
it's
what are you
just
giving
me.
it out of 10?
I enjoy it, but again, it's not my. I like mezcal, but it's still going to stay at a 7. The bottle is fantastic. I give the bottle an 8.5.
Okay.
And the price just under $70 at $68 is going to come in at an 8. So overall, 7.5.
7.5. All right, Johnny, looking right at that camera, why don't you tell everyone where they can buy a nice pair of bottles?
Yeah, at the LCBO. If you are a numbers person and you like mortgage math and you have a specific way on how you do your math, or you have some tips or tricks that maybe you want to share with Danny or I, comment down below. Let us know. Share the show so we can grow. I'm Johnny Supa. You can find me at johnnysupa.com and here at Your Nesta Financial. And Danny,
Mortgages by Danny C.
until next time,
Drink tequila.
cheers.
Yeah.